If you've ever seen a producer make beats and wondered how they make melodies so fast, it's because they have a go-to system that makes beat block not an option. If you don't know me, I'm Cactus. My melodies have been used by artists like Gigs, K-Trap, Noisy, and more. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what that system is and how you can use it, so you're not aimlessly clicking in notes and hoping for the best. And yo, big news, because my first audio plugin, Layerizer, is officially here. It's designed to give you melodies a unique textured layer without having to think of more notes. To celebrate the launch, if you get it from now until the 7th of April, it's only $65 down from $99, and you'll receive 8 bonus kits, a $25 gift card, and entry to an exclusive beat battle with over $1,000 worth of prizes. So just click the link in the description before it's too late, and let's get straight into it. Okay, so the reason producers can make melodies so easily is because they use a number system. You don't need to know loads of music theory or complicated terms, you just need to know the numbers 1 to 7, and I'll break it down for you. It's called the Nashville number system. It was developed in the 1950s, and it basically uses numbers to represent notes and chords. So instead of saying things like C, A flat, G, you'd be using numbers instead. Now technically, the Nashville system is based on major scales, but most producers, including myself, and especially those making drill and trap, think of it in a minor scale, and they just adapt that system. Let's take C minor as an example. I'll select C minor so you can see it. Now the notes in C minor are C, D, E flat, or D sharp, it would be the same thing, F, G, A flat, B flat, and then it goes back to C. But every minor scale has a relative major scale, which basically means they share the same notes. You just need to take the root note of the minor scale. We're working in C minor now, so the root note is C. Just go up 3 semitones, or basically steps. So 1, 2, 3. This note is D sharp, so the relative major scale to C minor is D sharp major. So if I change the scale now and go to D sharp major, you can see nothing's out the scale. Usually in the major scale, they'd start from D sharp, then these two notes would be on top. Nothing's changed, it's literally just the starting notes. The Nashville number system would number these notes 1 to 7. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Technically speaking, in the Nashville system, the note C would be number 6 in the D sharp major scale. But a lot of us are making dark beats, man, so we're usually working in a minor scale. So I'll bring those back down, change it to C minor, and I'm just gonna call this note C number 1. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is how I think of it in my head. And once you understand these are just numbers, you can start to learn chord progressions a lot easier. And I'll break down all my go-to ones and all the top ones producers are using. So as an example, 165 is one of my favorite progressions. All that means is I'm starting with the 1, which is C. I'm going to the 6, which is G sharp here. And then 5 would be G. But I prefer going down like this. Now these are going to be the root notes or bass notes of my chords. And once you've got those numbers, you can just build chords by skipping a note in the scale. For example, skip this note, do the same for these. And we've got a progression. Once you start to memorize a few of these patterns, you'll never have beat block again, because if you're ever struggling for ideas, or if you're in a session and under a bit of pressure, you'll just go to a number system that you know already works. And that's what producers are really doing. They've just learnt so many number systems that it's hard for them to go wrong. So that was the 165. Let's get rid of these, bring this back. Now you could just take the root notes, bring those down, and extend this one. And then you just experiment with some of the notes. So maybe you'd bring the top one down. So instead of on G5, it would be on G4. Or you could continue to build on them. So you could still have the G5, maybe add another one just by skipping notes in the scale. But let's say we're like this. Maybe you want to double the bass up. You could just keep the bass notes and then do something with more tension at the top. For example, we could start with the 1, in the middle, we could bring this down and then just copy this across. See what I'm saying? Already. Another one you could try is 1, 6, 4, 5. So 1, 6, drop this one down to 4, then this one up to 5. Or maybe you just do 1, 6, 7 and don't even have an end chord. Keeps it a bit more tense. So think of the number system as just taking the bass notes, and then you could either build chords directly from those bass notes or come up with something different on top. Another one is 1, 5, 6, 4. This is used on a lot of UK rap. Let's build chords. Again, you could just keep the bass notes and then just come up with something darker on top. For really dark trap and drill, most of the time you won't even change the bass note. You'll just have something like this and bring the middle note down like we did before. And you could just keep repeating that and just have the one bass note like this. That's the foundation of so many dark trap and drill beats. And then just start playing around with some of the notes. So maybe we could just bring this one up. If you want to go really dark, try removing the middle note of the chord. Again, the foundation of a lot of drill beats. So that's usually for dark and powerful stuff. If you want something catchy, 2 chord progressions are usually the way to go. For example, you could use a 1-5, which means just starting from C, 7, 6, 5, going to G. Now what you do is just build chords. Then you just want to play around with the positioning. So for example, we could take the top note, controlling down to bring it down an octave. Of course, don't forget to bring some of the notes out as well. That's where you can really start to experiment. So you could do something as simple as this. Then you'd have a catchy progression right there. Another one is 1-4. So starting on C and then going to the 4th, which would be F here. Let's build chords from these. Let's bring that one down. We'll add the bass notes. If you want to make emotional melodies or pain beats, you could use a 1-7-6. So just 1, 7, 6. Another one is 6-5-1, so finishing on the root note. So 1, 7, 6, 5, 1. Another one of my personal favorites. Could also try a 6-5-4, 6, 5, 4. Really good for Drake type beats, for R&B, even some jazz or boom bap. Maybe you want to use a 6-5. So just these two. Just remember with things like R&B and jazz, they use a lot of 7th and 9th chords, which sounds confusing, but just start with the 3 notes. Skip another note in the scale to get a 7th. Skip another one to get a 9th. Once you learn these number systems, you'll just have those as the foundation to a lot of your beats. So if you're ever stuck, just jump to one of the patterns you'll know will work and then just build off that. For example, if you're using a 1-4 progression and you just had chords like this, maybe you'd have that repeat twice. And then right at the end, you'd add some variation here. And maybe you'd want to go here. Just to show you that this would work in any minor scale, we could select something like A sharp minor, use one of my favorites, 1-6-5. A sharp would now be the 1, 7, 6 would be F sharp or G flat, and then F. Or we could change the rhythm. We'll build some chords now. I think that sounded too emotional. Might repeat this chord, drop the bass notes as well. Let's find a different sound. We'll go to my Aquarius analog lab bank. Maybe some plucks. Press Alt and S to strum them. Maybe we could use some electric keys instead. Randomize the velocity a bit. Like this as a foundation. Now I'm thinking the last time around, we can use the note just before the root note. Even though it's out the scale, it turns it to what's called a harmonic. I'm liking that. Now that we've got the melody, we can start layering it. Actually, maybe those first plucks would have been good. Let's try it layered. I think that will work. Might take the bass out of this piano just because it's going to start to clash. But we could swap that with an actual sub bass. Something like this gritty sub bass in my Aurora bank. Again, just add some passing notes. I think my perfection sub bass for this one. So we've laid it a couple times. I'm hearing something in the high end now, so maybe some strings or a high pad. Let's just copy the MIDI in one more time, but bring this one up an octave. The string support one just always works. Let's try this A-Train preset. Just bringing that attack down to here. There we go. Maybe so the strings are a bit more subtle, we could pitch it up an octave and just add some halftime. There we go. Let's bring everything up 4 semitones. Liking it there as well. Okay, at this point it needs a top line, but I was hearing some vocals, so I've just chopped up these small vocal phrases. Just got some delay and reverb, and then filtered them. But then where there's a gap in those vocals, I just want to add this electric guitar. Alright, at this point I think the melody sounded good, but now all it's missing is texture. This is another thing that pro producers add to their melodies. Texture is like those weird artifacts or things that sound interesting but you can't really explain. It might come from over-processing to get a sampled feel, or just a chain of effects that make it sound like the instrument's not straight from a VST. This is a problem I used to have because creating texture is tricky, and I used to stack up like 6 different plugins to try and achieve the effect. And that's why I built Layerizer, so that it could instantly do it for you. I want to create a texture layer, so I'm going to just take the main instruments, not the vocals and sub bass. We'll route these to another insert so it groups them together. Now I'm going to pull up Layerizer. Now even just the initial preset sounds sick. This is off. Feels like it's missing something. And now if I turn it on, you're going to hear texture. So you hear that high end, that almost shimmer or sparkle. So one of my go-tos is Cactus texture, which is the second preset. And when you use these ones with the mix level at 100, what I like to do is bounce that out and then blend it back in with the original, just so you've got more control over it. It sounded crazy. And if we turn up this, it's going to randomly reverse and pan some of the grains. So now we can get a really cool sound that we can blend back in. I really like this Lost in Space preset. Yeah, this is going to be the one. What it's doing is pitching the melody up 2 octaves. It's adding some grains, which is granular synthesis. We're also adding time stretch, which is going to slow the melody down but loop it to give it that half speed effect. And we've got some reverb, some auto pan, and some stereo imaging to widen the sound. And then it's got a filter to cut out some of the lows and the highs. And then when we introduce the storm, it's just going to make it sound a lot more interesting because it's reversing and panning some of the grains. The length is the size of the grains, and the trigger is the amount of space in between them. So when we're keeping it tight there, we're going to get that sparkle effect. But all these presets were made by me, and the Lost in Space one sounds perfect for what we're trying to do. So I'm going to open Edison and just record that in. You could blend the mix, but I like to treat it as a separate layer just so we've got more control. Now we could just start to chop this up a bit. So now we've got this texture layer that's just giving it some shine. If I mute that, you hear how it feels like it's just missing something. Layerizer is something we've been building for over 9 months to achieve this sound, and it's finally here. So if you want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description. The launch sale is only running until the 7th of April, where you can get it for just $65 along with 8 bonus kits, a $25 gift card, and access to an exclusive beat battle. So yeah, link in description, or just scan this QR code. Last thing melodically is just going to be this flute. Just something like that. So it's playing in between the guitar. Gives it that call and response effect. Alright, cool. Let's get some drums in. I'm hearing a hood trap bounce on this one. Maybe this snare. Could start simple with the 808. And let's try something different. I'm hearing a drill 808 in between these notes. Maybe I'll have the first 8 bars without that drill 808. Just have a few extra notes like these. gonna grab a hi-hat as well. Maybe just something simple like that. And then we could grab some open hats. Maybe the second one here. And of course, at the end of a 16, I've got to add a fill. And maybe a stomp. I'm just gonna rearrange that a bit. Just need a section for the intro, then also a simpler section for the verse. So we could take the strings out, maybe the vocals at first, save the texture for the hook. We can cut some drums at the start of the verse, and then just slowly start to reintroduce instruments before the hook. For the bridge, we can just have the vocals, keys, the sub bass, and then start to bring the drums back in. That should be it. So let's have a listen from the beginning. This melody's catchy. We got the second 808 and the texture layer. So we have all that energy in the hook, and now we just simplify it for the verse. Also got the guitar and flute. And a bridge. So I hope this video helped you. Hope you learned a lot about melodies. If you want to check out Layerizer, the link's in the description. Or for more videos just like it, then click up here.